Hi, I'm Keith Collins, also known as Major Malfunction, and today I take a shot at Imperial Settlers by Ignacy Cevicek, published by Portal Games. In Imperial Settlers, you are building an empire. You take on the role of the Japanese, the Romans, the Egyptians, or the barbarian hordes to build your own empires in this card-building game. Imperial Settlers is played to build your empire using cards. In Imperial Settlers, you're going to draft and or draw common deck cards that can be used to build what I would call the common areas on the board. You're also going to have your own faction cards, which you will draw one a turn, or when you get abilities that allow you to draw more cards that build your most powerful, most valuable buildings for your faction that only you have access to as part of your factions. For the components in this game, the cards have absolutely fantastic artwork, as you can see. You have a player board that helps you divide up your play space by your production areas, your features, and your action cards. And if you even look at the cards, they even line up. There are little roads that come off of each one. And the production cards have no road coming off the top, but they go left, right, and down. The features have a crossroads, and the actions have no card that go, or no roads that go below the card, but they all go up and left and right. And as you can see, you've built an empire that is all connected as you build this game. That is a fantastic touch when it comes to your components. You have cardboard components for your shield tokens, your gold coins, and your raise tokens. You have wooden components for your food, your stone, your wood, and your workers. And all these things come together to make a great set of components for a card game. So, what did I think of Imperial Settlers? So far, I'm in love with it. It's one of my favorite games out of Gen Con. I picked up a lot of really good games at Gen Con, and this is one that I've really enjoyed every time I've got it out to the table. I really like the fact that it plays 1 to 4 players instead of just 2 to 4 or just 2 players. The solo mode is something that's always valuable to me, so it's something I can play with in times between game nights, and it's something that anytime a game has that, I really cherish that in the game. I love how each faction plays completely differently. The Romans play differently in their feel from the Japanese, from the barbarians, from the Egyptians. The Romans really have a feel of, let's build an empire. You go out, you look on the landscape, you find a little hovel and you rip it down and you get some stone and you build up a big Roman monument. That's what the Romans do. And the barbarians have these huge hordes of workers as their resources, and they'll send those out to find new locations and to bring back resources in order to build up their barbarian camps so that they can score points and raise more villages, etc. and so forth. Each one feels different, and that's something really special about this game. Now, there's been some criticism that I've read and seen some people talk about. They feel that some of the factions are off balance or overpowered compared to some of the others. And I personally haven't seen that so much. I've put up very high scores with the Romans. I've put it up with the barbarians. I've put it up with the Egyptians. And honestly, I haven't played the Japanese yet. That being said, I think sometimes you can have a runaway leader in the game, but I think it's less about one faction is tougher, because where I put up a huge number with the Egyptians in one game and another game, I had a mediocre score at best. But what I find is it's like any other card game. If you don't get the cards that you want, or you don't adapt to the cards that you get quickly, then you're really going to suffer and you're going to struggle when that happens. There's also a variant of the game where you play it with less conflict, where you're not attacking the other players as much. I don't recommend playing this game like that, because if you don't have those raise tokens out there or the combative buildings out to fight the other players, then if somebody gets the card they really want and you don't do anything to mitigate it, they will run away with the game if you don't control them. So I think the game plays a lot better when you've got full player interaction where you're going after each other as much as you can. It's still limited how much you can go after each other. The game's not constantly in your face punching each other. There's a little bit of that interaction because you only have so many raised tokens available, or so many buildings with actions that let you destroy other buildings, so that the rest of the time you're really focusing on building your own empire, not tearing down the other people's empires. So overall, I really recommend Imperial Settlers if you can find it. It is a very fun card game. I'm looking forward to the expansions that Ignacy has in the works, and I can't wait till I get it back to the table again. We'll see you next time. Thanks.